Hi, I'm Kimberly Brenner, and I help rebuild marriages. I'm your marriage coach, and I love it. I started working with kids back in 2003 whose parents were divorced, and I saw how devastating it was to kids. And I then decided maybe I need to work with the parents and helping them rebuild their marriage. And that's what I've been doing. And what's interesting is I'm now going to be doing it digitally. I'm going to be doing it online so that I can work with couples anywhere in the world. So I've developed communication styles and conversations about how to communicate, because it's the number one issue that most of my clients come with, is that we're arguing, we don't know how to talk, we don't know how to communicate. And so the men love it because I give them a tool that they can use, and then when they do, their wives are like, oh my God, he's coachable, he's really doing this. And she gets kind of excited because, and I tell women, if your husband is coachable, don't throw him back in the dating pool, right? But women want to know that their husbands are listening to them and that they're there for them. So marriages are really different now. And if you look to your parents and your grandparents about marriage, it doesn't apply to marriages now. So couples are coming to me like, I don't know what to do, and it's true, because what's worked in the past doesn't work now. The first thing I ask them is, what do you need to figure out? By asking them that question, it allows them to look at what do they want. Not typically what happens in couples counseling. They come in and they complain about their spouse. Like, if you could only change my husband, then everything will be fine. But if they say, this is what I need to figure out, I need to figure out how to communicate to my spouse, I need to figure out how to listen to them, then they're being more proactive. And if I can get the couple to be proactive and to do something, then they're working towards an outcome. And that's my approach. And then I've also developed a book called 7 Conversations to Make a Good Marriage Great. So if I can get them to have these conversations, it works to rebuild on a neurobiological level. Their brains begin to wire together, they begin to understand each other rather than mind read. Because did you know that we're all meaning-making machines? And so something happens and we make it mean something, and the meaning we give it is the reality we create. And sometimes it's not the correct meaning. So this is the confusion between couples. Well, first of all, I come from Chicago. You can kind of tell the accent. And when I first moved to El Paso, I was told by my friends in Chicago, you'll never get a job because you're not bilingual. And I thought that was kind of interesting, and that's not true at all. The thing that I love about El Paso is the graciousness about people and the openness and the willing to learn. And I've never, ever, ever had a problem with working with clients. And every once in a while, I will get a couple that wants somebody who speaks Spanish. Unfortunately, I'm not it, but that's pretty rare. Living in El Paso has been a blessing. So a Chicago girl in this beautiful sunny El Paso is really enjoying herself. One thing that excites me about El Paso is the growth and the great Mexican food. The growth here is amazing. I moved here in 1995, and I have watched this city develop and change. And prior to that, my sister-in-law lived here from, 1975, I think. So we've been visiting El Paso since 1975. And then when we got to decide where we wanted to kind of settle down, it was here. My sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, my nieces, my nephews, my mother-in-law, they all lived here and were very much part of the community. My brother-in-law was a doctor here, and so yeah. So now I get to be the therapist in El Paso. And I was named one of the top 3 marriage counselors in El Paso that 2018. So I'm very proud of that. My name is Kimberly Brenner, and you can just Google www.kimberlybrenner.com and you will find my website. And then you can also find me on Facebook. I do a lot of Facebook Lives and some little tidbits and information. And the Facebook page is called Be Married. And so I talk about that. In fact, right before I got here, I was in my car doing another Facebook Live for my fans on my Be Married my Be Married Facebook page, giving them different tips and ideas on what to do and how to build a better relationship.